My guy, what's up, man? What's good?
Hi.
How you feeling? You good?
How you doing?
My boy, that's a real handshake. What's up, man?
You do the other one too.
Come on, we already know. Niggas hair out and shit. You know?
What's your name?
My name is Mez. You know? I'm an artist. That's me.
You're an artist? Mez the artist?
That's me.
I like that. Where are you from?
From Raleigh, North Carolina, man. One and only. You know, miss home, love home.
How long were you there?
Man, you know, that's an interesting question. Nobody really asked me how long was I there, you know. I mean, I've been in LA, a decade now, but
Yeah.
damn, how long was I in Raleigh, bro? I mean, all the time before that, basically, except for 2 years in college, you know what I mean?
Where'd you go?
I went to Morgan State for a little while, and I went to North Carolina A&T.
Where'd you go to school for?
I went to school for engineering. So, you know, like, I love math, science, technology, like, that's why it's probably like a big part of like my brand and stuff I'm into. You know, just nerdy shit, bro. Tech and shirt. You know I was gonna say something.
I knew you was gonna bring up the damn tech. That was funny.
You know I was gonna say something.
You used to go back and forth to Baltimore a little bit, or?
Yes. Baltimore is my second home. My whole family from there, you know. Shout out to my auntie, my grandma, like uncles, my brother. My cousin Eb just called me. Shout out to Eb, man. You know, I love Eb. Yeah, you know, it's my second home.
What's that like going back and forth between Raleigh and Baltimore? Like, what's that like?
Shit, 5.5 hour drive on I-95, you know. But not that bad, man. It's cool. And the energy is different, though. You know what I mean? North Carolina is very southern and, like, it's slow. People don't understand, Maryland's sneaky southern, too. It's kind of country in a way.
Nah, it is.
Yeah. So, you know, but yeah, it's nice, man. A nice little juxtaposition. Only difference is like growing up in North Carolina, I'll be saying hello to strangers and shit, and you go to Baltimore with that, it's just tricky. Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I learned that like in the 6th grade, because I went to middle school there for a little while, and I went to college there, so.
You went to middle school in Baltimore?
For a little while, yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
How long?
I mean, maybe like half the school year or something like that. I kind of had like a tumultuous childhood, so we'd be moving and a lot of stuff going on, but I was there for probably like half a school year.
I'm like, I think about that, like, I moved a lot in my childhood, you know, like I've lived in Jamaica, then I lived in Miami, and
man, I can't imagine living in Jamaica. So it had to be crazy.
It was good. It was a good education.
I mean, amazing. Like, yes,
definitely different lifestyle from when I moved to the States. So I had to adjust. I had to adapt. You know, so I think about like having to adapt, like as a child, other than having to adapt as an adult. You know what I mean? Like, and how like in a lot of situations, like our upbringing, we had to learn adaptation. You know, like looking at the best, trying to find the best outcome in something that wasn't necessarily given that. You know, and when you talk about moving to Baltimore in the 6th grade, I'm like, what's that, like 11 years old or 10 years
something
old?
Like that,
11, 12 or something like that?
Yeah.
And like that's like a pivotal, for me personally, at 11.
Yeah, no, for sure.
know?
It was super different. You know, we pull up to the schools, like bullet holes, and like my mom was like, you know, it was the whole thing, you know what I mean? And then, you know, I grew up in Southeast Raleigh anyway, you know what I mean? So already but Baltimore is just different, bro. You know what I mean? Different type of place. So, you know, but I love it. I love both places. You know, they made me who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When did you start writing?
Anything?
Whatever. Yeah, it don't matter. Anything.
Yeah, bro, I started writing. I can't even remember. It's been so long. Like, you know, I tell people all the time, man, my mom was a super creative person. Like, you know, she used to put me and my brother to bed and tell, like, she just make up stories, bro, from scratch. Like, and them shits would be amazing. Niggas would be locked in. If it's scary, that shit really scary. If it's fun, whatever. Like, she used to make up games. Like, you know, I think I just get so much of, like, the artist part of me from my mom, you know what I mean? And so, like, I started young writing songs when I was, like, 9 and 10. You know, it turned into, like, being in middle school, freestyle battling. That was really, like, where songs started coming.
Got you.
I remember I had this karaoke machine. I had recorded, that was my shit, boy. I had recorded, Rockefeller had the We Are the Champions on the Queen sample. Kanye was rapping on the Queen sample. And then Dame Dash was on there like, this is my producer. Niggas ain't even know he could rap. Like, you know?
I remember that.
And that shit was just so dramatic. It was just such a big deal. And you know, we used that beat that was the first beat I ever wrote a song to. You know what I mean? So I wrote a song to that. And then my best friend, he couldn't rap, but he wanted to rap. You know what I mean? He been my best friend since we was in the 3rd grade. He in the feds now. You know, I talk to him all the time, but, you know, I'm telling him to hold his head, but I talk to him all the time, bro. And it's just thinking about those memories is so crazy. It's refreshing because it was always in there. Like, sometimes people be like, damn, I wonder when. I'm like, yo, I don't remember a time where it wasn't in there. Like, the storytelling element,
of course,
the interest. I always had genuine interest in telling stories.
Yeah.
You know, so me, my brother, my homeboy, like, we just started making songs on the karaoke machine.
Yeah, I had a karaoke machine too. I used to dub over the Michael Jackson Thriller joint. Record myself singing back to it, and they turn his version off and play my version. Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
No, I feel you. I used to like bring it and give it to girls at the school and all that. No,
that's the way, bro.
Karaoke machine.
Bro, I played this one girl, a verse I had on the karaoke machine, and I was like, "What you think?" I played it before I put headphones on her.
Yeah.
And she was like listening. She was like, and she took it off. She was like, "Damn, this shit fire, but it ain't no beat." I'm like, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm just learning how to record. Like, can you not just enjoy this for what it is? Like, just enjoy it. Like, you know, so. Yeah, amazing times, man.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like that. I think when did we meet? 2008 or something like that?
Yeah, I mean the first time. I mean, I know was it BT Music Matters concert.
Yes. You was there?
Yeah. What you mean? Yeah.
She was at that concert?
Yes, bro. That's probably the first time we met. Yeah. Yes, bro.
Wait, we met there?
Heather Widener, her fiction. Heather probably connected us back then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Then I think you came to my house. I think you came to my brownstone.
You had a
Brooklyn.
Crazy crib.
Yeah,
yo, y'all don't know he had a.
Okay.
Back then. This nigga had a half of a circle bed. Okay. The whole bed was like the whole room.
Listen.
Shit was crazy.
That's, first of all, it's Jersey.
I'm like, how do you get confused for this? How do you get
confused? That's Jersey.
Damn, my bad.
I'm talking
crazy.
about
Jersey,
Brooklyn is when we first
Yeah, for sure.
my spot in Bed-Stuy.
For sure.
I remember that day, and I remember her had to send me his stuff, and I was like, that dude voice crazy. And but then when I met you, like, I was like, in my head I thought you was like 35.
How old is this nigga?
I was like, yo, like, bro, a kid, like, like super inspired, you know what I mean? And like I could tell, like, in the way that you were expressing what you were expressing, like, I'm trying to remember that day, but I could tell, like, that day you was like, when you was talking to me, I was like, oh yeah, he'll be fine.
My dog.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Man, no, that was just inspirational times. My first time really being around the industry in New York, like, you know, back and forth on the mega bus. China bus.
Yeah. I remember the China bus and the mega bus.
China bus got canceled quick.
Remember the boat bus? You ever took the boat bus?
I seen it, but I ain't never rode on it.
I've been on all them joints.
No, see, the first two scared me so much. I'm like, I'll go let them niggas do their thing, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm like real keen on, like, you know, moments that happen in your life that make you want to, you know, continue to create or inspire you to feel like this is what I'm gonna do. So it's like, when there was that moment that you looked up and you was like, you know what, I'm about to rap and I'm about to make things with my brain, like, no matter what. When you feel like that happened? Or was it like a series of things, or what?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I just felt like it must have been in the programming or something, in the DNA. I ain't never seen it no other way.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only one time in my life where, like, when I was in the, like, engineering and my mom really wanted me to finish college, I was like, yo, I used to think when I was like 17, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go to be an engineer and finance my music career with, like, my NASA fucking like money. Like, it was just a different type of, you know, until I understood that wasn't gonna make any sense, you know what I mean? But nah, like I said, man, I don't know. It's different for everybody. Everybody has their, like, moments, the epiphany, but I don't know, you know.
It's like, what made you want to write that rap to play that girl? Like, what made you want to do that?
It felt right. It just felt like that, like, it just felt right, bro. And then I already was just writing songs and trying things out and stuff like that. But then when I got in front of people, that was the moment where I knew I was different. You know what I mean? It was like when I was freestyle battling and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, I'd be all these big crowds of people and
so the game.
yes,
like
bro.
that.
And niggas used to come grab me. Like, if they seen a circle, people would come get me because they would want to be entertained. You know, or they just be like, oh, we gotta go get Mez or Morris before it was even that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and that lasted all the way to high school where people would just be like, interrupt anything I'm doing in my life to make me come basically like defend the school.
Like just rap.
Yeah, like, yo,
Spit,
like, you know, and it was like the thing that I did. I wasn't like hooping. I mean, like on that level.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You know, we had niggas go to the NBA from my high school. John Wall was in my same freshman class.
Got you.
Took my middle school spot on the team. You know, like it's just North Carolina just got so many great talented athletes.
Yeah.
And then also the structure of North Carolina is built around athletes. Like that's where the money goes for the school system, for this, for that. That's why I'm so excited about my program I was telling you about. It's focused on the arts. You know what I mean? I'm excited to put more energy back into the space that way because yeah, man, like I don't know, like it's gonna be more kids like me that was the same as me that didn't have the infrastructure or like, you know, I was skipping school and going to the studio or working at TJ Maxx, nigga, saving up my money, going to the studio. Like, you know, I'm like, damn, maybe one day I could skip some steps for somebody and just put them just directly in the studio, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah, no, I feel you on that. Like, how did you, all right, so you in North Carolina, back and forth, right? And then you go to college, then you look up, you like, this ain't really it, you know. And then you decide you're gonna go all the way in, but you know, this is what I'm about to do. Then you get to that point, and then you know you start releasing music, and you know meeting people, whatever the case may be, and then you get the opportunity to meet Dre. Like how do you meet Dr. Dre? Like all the way to that.
I mean, I dropped out of college like when I was 20.
Yeah.
And my mom. The reason I dropped out because my mom passed away, and so when my mom passed, I dropped out. I dropped out of school. Obviously, like you know.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of the moments in my life that was, it's still to this day the toughest one, you know what I mean? But it was one of the ones where I knew I was gonna have to rise to the occasion, you know. And my younger brother was in high school, so dropped out of college to, you know, stay back and help him in high school, help him finish high school. And all my family wanted me to go back to college, but I just knew I was like, nah, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna make it in the arts, and when music is gonna be, everything's gonna be fine. And I remember like 6 months later, I was on MTV doing like the Sucker Freestyle, like 6 months, and I'm like, damn, my mom didn't get to see it. I was pissed off. You know what I mean? It's crazy she never got to see me do none of the stuff I did, but she believed in me though. She knew I was gonna do it. You know what I mean? And that means a lot still to this day. But so after that happened, you know, 3 years later, I was working with Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? I had moved to California. I had like a tryout. I be trying to keep the story short because it's long as hell, but
it's all good.
I had basically like a tryout to work with him because I mean in between those times I started putting out mixtapes and stuff on the internet, Two Dope Boys, blog era stuff. You know what I mean? Like Rhapsody put me in the studio. She was the first person to really like. I used to open for her rap group called Coolie High, this pizza parlor.
Oh, fire!
Yeah, it's a pizza parlor in Raleigh.
You never told me that.
Yeah. They used to perform at this pizza place all the time, and it was the only place people was really gathering for like rap music, and you know how every city got their little hub or their little thing. And Ruckus Pizza, that's where we used to be at. And I used to pull up, and then I was in a rap group at that time. Niggas was pulling up.
You was in a rap group?
Yeah.
What was the group called?
Lazaretto Crew.
Lazaretto Crew?
Yeah.
You didn't never tell me that either.
Oh, I thought it was so hard, bro. It's so crazy because Lazaretto is like a hospital that's like for people that's too ill to be amongst people that's like around everyone else. So back in the day, like, I don't know how many hundreds of years or whatever, many years ago, they used to put these people in this hospital that, you know, it's like, oh, no, that's like
too sick.
Too sick. So, you know, niggas thought it was so hard. Yeah. Fire. So, you know, we was in the rap group putting out tapes, all this stuff, but eventually, like, as time went on, like, you know, I don't know, I just was the one that was like, I became the manager. I became to this. I became to that. I had so much like focus and vision for the shit. I ended up being the last one, you know, to continue at the pace and the energy that I was focused on doing it. And so, after Lazaretto, then I was on my own. And like I said, Rhapsody put me in the studio and this and that and all these things started happening. The internet started kind of fucking with me, you know. People started reaching out. I remember record labels reaching out. I was like, damn, this shit's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I didn't expect it to happen this way, but I knew it was going to happen one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I had got a call from someone about a video I had, I think on 106 in Park.
Yeah.
And, which was crazy. I made them play my video, bro. I used to be like, I walked in the office, I was like, no, you have to play this shit.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And yeah, somebody who was working with Dre had reached out. And long story short, bro, I ended up getting like a tryout. Nothing happened after the tryout, so I went back to North Carolina, and I was like, I wasn't even discouraged because I was like, I'm gonna make this shit happen no matter what. And then I had all my friends that helped me put all my stuff in storage, and I shipped my car across the country, one-way ticket, and flew back to LA. And I was like, I'm gonna make that shit work.
Right.
I'm gonna make them niggas like call me back, basically, or whatever. And second day I was living in LA, they called me like, yo, Dre, why don't you come back to LA? You know what I mean?
He's like, I'm already here.
Already here, nigga. I knew y'all was gonna call.
Right.
Knew y'all was gonna call.
Fire.
Like, yep. And, you know, he took me on set to the Straight Outta Compton movie. I didn't know what it was at the time. He's like, I'm working on this movie. And I would go on set and stuff.
Amazing.
And then a couple years go by, we write like damn near 100 songs together, some shit, bro. Probably still shit in the vault. You know what I mean? But then I wrote like 15 songs on this Compton album that comes out, and that shit really changed my life, you know? Yeah, that shit really changed my life. And so built that relationship with him. It was good. Continued to work on music, and funny enough, eventually started directing.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I was working on this Revenge of the Dreamers album. You know, the Dreamville, Cole, Dreamville, they real family, like amazing people. Always looked after me since the beginning. You know what I mean? I ain't even
because Cole, when do you meet Cole?
He's from North Carolina, but I ain't meet him through North Carolina. I met him through this dude, Omen. You know Omen?
Yeah,
obviously.
Omen from Chicago? Where's Chicago? Yeah.
Omen's a legend, bro. Yeah, Omen played my music for him for the first time, and then, you know, made a relationship from there, stayed cool. And then, I was at Revenge of the Dreamers camp working on music. You know, I ended up on a couple songs. I ended up on the song Costa Rica, the song Sleep Deprived. Yeah. I was just telling a story earlier to somebody else, too. I heard Middle Child there for the first time. Yeah. And then after it was like made, Cole ended up hitting me like, yo, what you think about writing a video treatment to this? Yeah. And I was like, I'll write it, but you gotta let me direct it though. Facts. You know, and he was like, say less. And then that's my first video first film project I ever directed ever at all. You know what I mean? But I think it was because I was just always kind of expressed like my interest in like visuals and creative ideas. It wasn't, I don't know, man. Eventually I started realizing like I wasn't just a musician. You know what I mean? Like, and ain't no such thing as just a musician. That's such a big deal to even be a musician. Yeah,
to be blessed.
To be blessed to even have that. It's not even a thing. But I just mean it as in like the narrative wasn't singular. Yeah. You know what I mean? For me in that way. And then it got so crazy. Eventually, I started really having a real itch to get visuals out. I ain't even never think that would happen to me. You know what I mean? Even now, like, I got, like, you know, film projects in the works and, like, my first real, like, TV show conversation, movie conversations, like, shit like that. And it just feels like a part of it. It all feels like one thing. You know what I mean?
Nah, I connect with that.
One band, one sound. One like band, Dr. Lee. Like... Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out Drumline.
Drumline, yeah,
no, it's fire. I think, you know, I feel like when I was here, I came into your spot in Burbank when I got the penthouse joint. Remember the penthouse? You had the penthouse in Burbank?
Had the 007 code in the elevator. You put the code in, niggas ain't know. You seen the pool?
Yeah, I seen the pool. I remember the pool.
Cutting up, bro.
And when I left, I was like, I was really proud of you, man. You know, I was so happy, you know.
Thank you, bro. I was being a little idiot. I was spending a lot of money, dog. I mean, LA is expensive regardless, but just at that time, like, I didn't realize what I was doing, but thank God, man, he always brought another opportunity, but yeah, I don't know. You gotta get out your system, I guess.
I guess you do gotta get out your system.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, like, so when you said, you know, when your homies in the feds, when you talk to them, like, what do you guys talk about?
Man, we talk about everything, man. You know what's funny is like, it's just so unexpected. You just would never guess. Like, we talk about a lot of business plans. He's got a lot of business plans and thoughts and stuff like that. Amazing. And we talk about like business. We talk about, we talk about books, obviously, a lot of like health and wellness stuff. He just got so much time to do so much research, you know what I mean? He's trying to use it to his advantage to like, you know, to capitalize on the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even me, when I think about it, I got projects where I'm like, oh, maybe he could be a writer on this project or this or that because he got the time and the mind to do it. I mean, mind you, this dude's like brilliant. Like we was in advanced like math classes growing up in school, like always, both of us, you know. I'm like probably amongst a lot of the homies that play chess, like in our little circle, I'm scraping niggas, and I can't beat him. I really can't beat my homeboy. Like before he got locked up, he was like, he's a brilliant dude, you know what I mean? So
amazing.
Yeah, we stayed close, always.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like we talk so much.
I know. It's like now we just put on camera.
Yeah, we literally I talk to you a lot.
Now we just put on camera.
And, you know, I like talking to you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
my boy.
You know why I like talking to you though?
Why?
So, like, ask me like, why do you like talking?
Okay, why you like talking to me, Jesse?
Because when I talk to you, there's seldom moments about like there's no complaining.
That's real, damn.
It's just solutions.
Damn, bro, thank you.
We always talk like that, you know, like I think like we are in the game, but we also like love the game so much that we talk about things having to do with it from an educational standpoint, but it's never from a moment of doubt. You know, there's like it's like a challenging things.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, and then surprising ourselves. You know, and a lot of times you call me, you say something, you be like, sound surprised about it, and I'm always like, well, that sounds pretty.
You definitely say that, like, nigga. Like, you know what it is, yo? It's like when I set my mind out to do something, that part of the process is no faltering. Like I don't have no doubt. Like I'm fearless in that part of the process. It's definitely parts of the process that's not easy.
Right, agree.
You're gonna run into the moments.
Who likes easy anyway?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it don't create the results of the life that I want. You know what I mean? So I'm just always been the type of person, bro. I just accept it. I'm like, fuck it. The backpack 60 pounds, pass it. Yeah. What else am I gonna do? Am I gonna, you know, I'm not gonna move home or do this or do that. Like I'm here to be great. Like you know, like I don't have no other, you know, switch in me, bro. The switch is like, yeah, I said I was gonna do it, so now I gotta do it. I don't see nothing else. I don't see nothing else other than that. But it's still fire though to hear you say like, no complaining. Not because it ain't room for it. You know, people got. Of
course, life is life. Yeah.
Life is life. People could express how they feel about it. But yeah, it's like it's seldom on my mind, you know, because it's like it's things about life that I feel like is set in stone.
Like what?
That's set in stone?
Yes.
I mean, you gotta think like things will change over time. Stone changes over time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is funny, like with water and pressure and air, you know. But for a long ass time, it's hard and it's tough. And that's the same as like the music business is that way. It's like, oh, we wish it would change, and it will over time, but it's gonna be slow like stone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so while we're in this lifetime in these decades, I'm like, I could complain about it, or I could find a way to see in between, and
I can make that stone part of my house,
part of my crib, part of my foundation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You know, and it's just strategy. I'm a chess player. You know, I love playing chess. I play like 5 to 10 games every day. Like I just, you know, I don't really understand no or see no. It's just like I'm like it could just be thought about a different way.
Facts.
It could be reconfigured in a way that makes sense for me. You know,
and I think also patience.
Yeah. That's the tough one, man. What's the phrase for that I learned recently that's fire? Delayed gratification? You heard that before?
I never heard that. What's that?
Delayed gratification is amazing, man. It's like working out. You get delayed gratification from working out. You're not gonna see the results immediately.
Yeah, no.
You know,
you might a little bit. You in the mirror, you like this. Yeah. But you flexing. But
I know that's 5 minutes after you left the gym. Like the blood, right? Yeah. You eat a turkey sub, nigga. It's over. Yeah, it's over. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know, I love learning. I'm still learning it, bro. It's still becoming a part of who I am. Delayed gratification was a very hard one for me. Yeah. Because, you put in the work. You want to see what you want to see immediately. And then being black, coming from like hand to mouth hand to mouth. That's all niggas know. Niggas ain't really had no opportunity to like, oh, I'm gonna invest in this thing and watch the investment grow over 5 years, over 10 years. It wasn't until I got, you know, I started meeting the people that I'm in business with now, my manager, my business partner, certain people that I'm like connected to, that I'm just like, it just changed my perspective, yo. And you know, I remember my boy Dustin was like, you know, we started working on a production company together, and he like, oh, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be great in 5 years. At first I was like, 5 years? Like, damn, nigga, that's a long ass time. I'm trying to get lit, you know? And then when you step back, first of all, 5 years, not only is it not that long of a time, but bro, anything that's worth anything, delayed gratification.
You have to develop it.
Yeah, you know, and it just starts to speak to vision.
Yes.
And that's like, vision is like...
And faith.
Vision and faith, yeah. You know, those two qualities, they not easy, you know what I mean? Those are qualities that need to be fed like a plant. You gotta feed the vision, you gotta feed the faith, you know what I mean? And it's not easy to do, but it's with the people around you, with the things you put in your head, with the books you read, like the way you spend your time, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
I read this book, Atomic Habits, by this dude, James Clear. You fuck with Atomic Habits?
Yeah.
Amazing, bro. Shit kind of changed my life, because it's like, it's about systems. I'm not goal-oriented no more. I don't care about no goals no more.
No.
If you build a system that reaches the goal, it hit the goal over and over again, 1,000 times.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm just that's all I'm on now, is just like, I just focus on the systems for the things that I like to do.
Yeah, no, I understand. Basketball metaphor, I always think free, like, at this point, I'm not even looking at the goal anymore, because like the system of how I'm shooting already is what I care about. As long as I feel good, as long as I feel good, I know it's going in.
The muscle memory, memory. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, delayed gratification. You know what I mean? If you trying to be a great shooter and you just started and you in the gym and you see that bitch brick, tense, it's hard to look at. Might be the janitor might be sweeping the floor, looking at you like, damn, that's ugly. Like, you thought you was by yourself, somebody watching, but like, even then, like, it's okay, like,
just keep shooting at keep shooting at that damn rim, man.
Yeah, bro, because you start realizing it ain't about if I make this shot. It's like, yo, stop thinking about making the shot. Start thinking about how many shots you put up every day.
Exactly.
Like, and then once you stop thinking about it, one day you'll look up and you just like, hard to miss.
Yeah,
like, damn, I can't even really miss like that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You know, so I'm like, that's what I'm on now. I'm not thinking about the shot no more. I'm like, let me see how.
Let me just put them up.
Let me see about the system. Let me see about the system.
Right in the flow.
Yeah. That's where it's gonna be at.
I like that. That feel that was great. I like. God. I think I learned a lot. Yeah, I learned a lot of things.
Shit,
How
me
do you
too.
feel?
I feel good, bro. I feel good, man. Yeah, Peachtree Studio. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Just chill, cuz. Thank you very much. You can say bye.
Peace.